Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Moreno Show. I hope you are feeling good. Guys, check this out. We got some breaking news, and this is a big one. Trump has ordered RFK Jr. and HHS to take over all special needs and nutrition programs for schools. This is a big deal. Just yesterday, President Trump signed an executive order to go ahead and begin dismantling the Department of Education, and so many people on the left were losing their minds because they're like, no, what's going to happen to the nutrition programs? What's going to happen to the people with special needs? What's going to happen? And now we're seeing the plan. All those things are actually going to begin to be reabsorbed through other agencies that are probably better suited for handling those programs anyways. Like, who would you rather have dealing with nutrition, the Department of Education or Health and Human Services? If you ask me, kind of an easy answer, but check this out. We got President Trump speaking on this directly, and I think this is so good. We're also going to talk about a couple of other things, but we are going to start here. So check this out. Also, if you like having conversations like this, please consider liking and subscribing. It's one of the best ways you can help me out. Okay, check this out.
And also, Bobby Kennedy, the Health and Human Services, will be handling special needs and all of the nutrition programs and everything else. Rather complex, but that's going to be headed by and handled by Health and Human Services. So I think that'll work out very well. Those two elements will be taken out of the Department of Education, and then all we have to do is get the students to get guidance from the people that love them and cherish them, including their parents, by the way, who will be totally involved in their education along with the boards and the governors and the states. And it's going to be a great situation. I guarantee that in a few years from now, I hope I'm going to be around to see it, but I think we're going to see a lot of it. I think that you're going to have tremendous results. You're going to have results like Norway, Sweden, Denmark, a lot of the.
I feel like President Trump doesn't often guarantee things. In fact, just the other day, whenever he had an interview and the reporter asked him, like, so do you think we're going to head into a recession? He made no guarantees there. He's like, well, I don't like to predict the future. I'm not too sure. That's what President Trump said. But here, President Trump is guaranteeing that students are going to be healthier. And I also love that he mentioned that the people who care about the students the most are going to be the ones who have a direct say in this, talking about the parents, or talking about governors, talking about local leaders. And I gotta say, I think I trust their input more than I trust the people who are so disconnected from the states in DC. So I think this is fascinating. Pregnant Redhead has one of the top comments on this post. She says, Trump's got the right idea. RFK Jr. and HHS will bring real change to our kids. No more government red tape. So good. Also, Gunther Eagleman, the guy who shared this video, he says, it will serve our children much better than being in the Department of Education where bureaucracy hinders every step. And I got to say, I got to agree. Underneath one of us, a similar post with George B. Heasy, Jolly Roger says, when I asked why they didn't want the Department of Education eliminated, the only argument my progressive family members could come up with was this. And yeah, just yesterday, whenever we were dissecting that article from the Associated Press, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said, like, yeah, those things are going to be taken care of. And the Associated Press wrote in that article, they wrote she didn't give anything specifically, but that's what she said. And I love that Caroline Leavitt actually didn't give any details. Why? Because maybe she was waiting for President Trump to deliver this great news himself. So I got to say, I like it. Check this out. I also saw this from RFK Jr., making America healthy again, one step at a time, one day at a time. And this time he's talking about baby formula. And I thought this was fascinating. And there's a lot of people in the comment section here who are saying, like, why isn't he doing something else? Why aren't you doing something more important? Like, how dare you focus your attention on baby formula when there's bigger fish to fry? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, this is such a enormous, astronomical problem that so many people battle with every single day. This is children at birth. This is so critical and so huge. And I love that RFK Jr. is actually focusing his attention here. And we're also going to share this other portion of we're going to play 1 minute of this next video where we have Dr. Dyan Hes, a board certified doctor and a pediatrician who specializes in nutrition, actually giving her direct thoughts on RFK Jr. and the direction that he's moving in, especially in regards to baby formula, as well as a more broader sense. And I just think this is really good. So check that out. But we are going to start here with RFK Jr.
Hi, this is Robert F. Kennedy Jr. As Secretary of Health and Human Services. One of the agencies that I oversee is the Food and Drug Administration. The FDA is responsible for making sure that the food and medicine that Americans put into their body is safe. That's important for everyone, but especially for our children, because they're the most vulnerable, and the most vulnerable of all are our babies. If there's one food that must be safe beyond any doubt, it's infant formula. Mothers who cannot or choose not to breastfeed need to have absolute confidence that their infant formula is ideal for their babies and have many options to choose from. Parents and others who rely on infant formula should know what's in these products and how consuming them may impact their child's health. That's why I'm directing the FDA to launch Operation Stork Speed. Amongst many things, it will study infant formula to inform updates in federal guidelines. Let me tell you why we're doing this. You see, the science of human nutrition has progressed since current guidelines were put in place in 1998. So we're going to evaluate all the common ingredients from corn syrup solids to seed oils and make sure that they meet the needs of our little ones. Some things we know are bad, like heavy metals. So we're going to increase the frequency of testing to make sure that no child drinks contaminated formula. I met with the CEOs of all the top infant formula manufacturers a couple of days ago, and they're united in support of this initiative. They are ready to make whatever changes are needed based upon the current evidence, because no one wants our children to be sick. We all want our children to grow and flourish from the moment they're born. Make America Healthy Again is something that can unite all Americans. And that's what Operation Stork Speed is all about. We're going to make American infant formula the gold standard for the world.
So good. I love it. Thank you, RFK Jr. And I love how I just love, like, we saw it before, but I'm gonna say it again just because I love it. He's meeting with the CEOs of the top infant formula manufacturers, and these guys look like they are ready. They look like they are ready to cooperate. They look like they are ready to begin making these changes. And you're probably asking, well, what changes? And I actually love that Dr. Dyan Hes spoke on this to give a little bit more detail, and I thought this was good. And like I mentioned earlier, she's board certified in both. She's a board certified pediatrician who specializes in nutrition. So check this out.
One of our reps actually went out to a warehouse, and the warehouse was about 120 degrees where the formula was being stored. If that was FDA approved, that couldn't happen. So these are the kind of laws we need, and these changes and the transparency, so that every baby is getting, the best nutrition they can from the start.
Oh yeah, 120 degrees in that storage facility. Yeah, that certainly cannot be good. Last question for you, doctor. We are seeing massive cuts in the government. Do you have any concerns about what it could potentially mean for formula safety and maybe for food safety overall?
I actually think it's the opposite. I think RFK is really pushing the agenda to have healthier foods in schools, healthier foods for people who are receiving, benefits, food stamps, and now with the baby formula. I mean, this is what I'm a pediatrician who specializes in nutrition. This has been something I've been begging for years. Even things such as a packaging. I mean, studies came out before. It might not actually be the formula, but it happened with the things like Lunchables. That it's a packaging that actually have the heavy metals that leach into the food. So this all needs to be looked at, and I welcome that.
And really good. We are hopefully going to.
There we go. Dr. Dyan Hes welcomes RFK Jr.'s transparency. She welcomes his tenacity in trying to tackle this very, very serious problem that so many moms and parents all across the country deal with. So I think this is amazing. All right, guys. Anyways, that's the end of this video. Please let me know what you think about this conversation in the comment section. And I'm so looking forward to hear what you guys have to say about this. Again, President Trump just assigned this incredible task to RFK Jr. and HHS. And I think this is fascinating. And RFK Jr. is focusing now on trying to help children at their most sensitive state of being. And I think this is great. All right, guys, let me know what you think about all this in the comment section, and I will see you all next time. Episode's over already? Geez, that was fast. Well, they say beautiful things do not last forever, but feel free to watch and listen to another one of these episodes if you're interested in those conversations as well. Also, this next part is huge. Make sure to obliterate that like and subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never skip a beat. I also have a newsletter where we dive into the news, politics, and ideas that shape our future. If you're interested in signing up, I'd really appreciate that. Anyways, that's the end of this episode. Thank you so much for watching and listening, and I'll see you next time.